It is Monday, the day after a very festive Mother's Day. What did you do, aside from tell everyone on Facebook what a great son you are, how wonderful your mom is? And I'm just saying, 50% of yous are lying.
I was going to say 75.
Are 75.
Yeah.
And we don't all need to know what a great son and how wonderful your mom was. It might be true. Just shut it. Keep it to yourself. Stop bragging about what a wonderful family you have. Because I know. I said 50%. Dave's saying 75%. You're lying. That was very warm for a Monday. Get ready for more of that. There's a lot of anger, including Ryan Johansson letting it go on Kessler.
I'm beginning to like Ryan Johansson even that much more.
He says what everyone is thinking, but never says post-game or, they talk about not giving bulletin board material, which is kind of a waste these days considering no one knows what a bulletin board is nor uses one. Golden State, of course, we'll talk about that. Unbelievable comeback. Could have been a big day for bettors if that's how you roll. And quite honestly, we'll also talk about a horrible decision on my behalf back in the 80s at what was called a dance club. I know you can barely even imagine me in one of those things. Look, I was a kid. I was working in a place called Ontario Place with a bunch of film majors. So I got all 80s up, went to a place called the Diamond Club. It was exciting when I first got there. We actually broke in. That's part of their deal. We had to sneak into a club, so we broke in. And, of course, ended very badly for yours truly. I mean, it just was.
It's a good name, though. I love the name.
In fact, I'm not lying. Telling the story to young Scott Sutherland, you know him as Suds or Sudsarama. He almost shit his pants. He was laughing so hard when I told him the car today. I know. Not classy, but I'm just saying that's what happened. It's the God's honest truth. Speaking of the truth. You're watching that Golden State game, or what do we want to start with hockey first?
Yeah, let's go Golden State first.
Okay, so
that's fine. Yep.
Golden State basically doesn't show up for almost the first half going into the third quarter. And a couple of things happen. Number one, the defense by San Antonio was outstanding. And two, Kawhi Leonard ends up getting jammed a couple of times, one in particular, on his ankle. Now, the way that it happened in front of the San Antonio bench, Dave, was he takes that jump shot, guys, and I'm not sure who it was. I don't know if it was Klay Thompson. I can't remember who it was. Kind of contends the shot, but he doesn't hammer into him. It's just the way that Kawhi goes back on his ankle. He comes out of the game. Well, considering he's probably the best player on the floor for San Antonio right now, cue the comeback, including a 19-2 run.
Curry, high three. That's good. Steph Curry lighting it up here in the third.
Going to be able to create offense.
And to me, it's LaMarcus Aldridge on the post.
Still.
Curry pulls back.
Curry.
Rebound, Durant. Pachulia kept it alive, and Durant on the follow. It's a 12-point game. Thompson
Not for
off
long.
the dribble, drives, and misses. Ball tipped out to Durant.
Here comes.
Back to Thompson
and
for three. Bang!
Boom goes the dynamite.
Curry, a
Curry.
two-pointer, puts it in.
Yes!
16 straight points. Timeout, San Antonio.
Yes! Now, as we see the onslaught, you just knew it was coming. Stupid me. Why do I not, again, go upstairs, take a look at the in-play on whatever offshore gambling site you do? Dave, they were down by over 20 points at one point. There's no way that's lasting. Now, Kawhi being out is a big part of that.
Huge part of it, yeah. That's a top 5 MVP candidate.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Some might even put him higher. That's how good he's been. And so how does it end? Well, the way it ends a lot of times in Golden State, unfortunately for San Antonio, because I don't know if you're going to see another, let's say, lapse or gap in concentration on a really loaded Golden State team. Maybe that was their chance, and, of course, it comes down to the last couple of minutes, and not good for San Antonio.
Mills. Curry pulls back. Aldridge picks him up. Curry on the drive. Throws it up. Shot. Bounces around and drops through.
You're getting the roll.
Mills brings it up. Mills drives. Aldridge, corner three. No good. Rebound fought for. Picked up by Mills.
Yeah.
Thrown away.
But they're
And a
down
whistle
by-
and a foul
they're down
as
by
Mills got
3.
hit. The key is Mills has to hit the first.
And now you got to miss. And the odds of that happening so small.
Mills misses. Rebound tipped, and that's it.
And that's it.
The Warriors survive and take game one.
Well, game one, and it is Golden State taking it. You can kill it. And so, quite honestly, I don't know if you're going to see another lapse like that in a Golden State team that's pretty damn good.
This is very non-San Antonio like, though, to blow that kind of lead. Like, I didn't sit there and say, you know what, the Spurs, before the game, they're going to go into Golden State and win and walk out of there with a split after leaving Oakland. Like, I didn't see that happening, but with a 20-point lead at half, a 25-point lead in the third quarter for that meltdown, I know the injury, as you mentioned, was key, but wow.
And in that first half, too, they were like basically over in all areas, including they were terrible on the charity line. They were not very good from the three-point line, which when does that ever happen? I just don't know if you're going to get that scenario again. If I'm looking at this, I thought before the series started, I was thinking probably in 5.
Yeah.
I thought in 5. It's really difficult to sweep, especially at this level. Even as good as Golden State is, San Antonio still has, as we said, Kawhi Leonard, Aldridge is playing like he did when he was with Portland. I don't know what Red Bull he's been drinking, but anything he touched was going in. I just think it was the perfect storm for San Antonio to win that game. But going beyond this, I don't know. I don't know if they get another one like this. I still think it's probably 5 games.
Yeah, I think it's 5 games only because they'll go back to San Antonio and split. I look at Golden State smartening up a little bit in the next game. There was a little bit of rust, too. We got to remember that. They were off a little bit. And you know what? Take these notes into that first game Cleveland plays, no matter who it is, because Cleveland's been off so long. If you're looking for an edge, you bet the opposition in the first half against the Cavaliers, because you're going to get points, and you might have the same kind of scenario where, say, the Celtics will be leading the Cavaliers by like 7 or 8 points at half. Plus, you get those extra points as a little bit of comfort points. Maybe there's an edge there betting-wise.
So we have the Celtics. It was a last-second loss, but now they go into a Game 7. Even Isaiah Thomas talked about a clock error. Like any sort of and again, people talk about excuses. No matter what it is, if it comes down to one possession where you think you made a mistake, a coach is always going to say the same thing, Dave. Well, if we're complaining about a one possession or an issue of one single play, then we didn't play good enough to actually win the whole game and
Correct.
put it away early. So the coaches are never going to look at that.
It's like sitting there blaming a referee for a call in the third period where you allowed the power play goal, and it's like, well, you know what happened to the first 45 minutes of the game where you probably could have taken advantage of a lot of different opportunities. You didn't, and blah, blah, blah.
I think no matter who comes through, whether it's Washington or Boston, it has the potential of being a pretty good series, I think, with Cleveland. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't see the Cavs losing this at all. But hopefully it's just nice, the fact that we see a basketball game in the NBA that was engaging. Now, at first I'm thinking, are you kidding me? The Golden State game is a blowout the other way when I'm watching it. Mm-hmm. It just, because of injury. And again, I'm going to look at Leonard's injury. That's the reason this thing was close. I'm just hoping we see more engaging games as we go along, because if we're going to be honest about this thing, the number of games that have been interesting in the NBA playoffs, 4? I'm thinking maybe there's 4 in there.
Yeah, just because of the first round.
Yes,
because there's some really exciting Buck-Raptor games.
Maybe 4 games, but that's unacceptable.
The Pacers played the Cavs really tight on one of the games, even though a lot of the spreads were really tight. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, as you move further into the postseason, you'd almost think that the games are going to get tighter, and it's, I think yesterday is the closest San Antonio will come as far as spread-wise, but I still think they might be able to beat them one game in San Antonio.
Just as also a finishing note here, as much as you may want to not like Manu Ginobili, I know a lot of people, maybe his shaved head looks a little weird. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe it's his accent. Maybe there's people that way. How come he has an Italian name and he's from Argentina? What's going on there? There's a lot of reasons maybe to be suspicious of Manu Ginobili. At 39 doing what he does, it's unbelievable. Like, I still think that's incredible. The level he plays at 39 years old, I mean, most people are not seeing 39 in the NBA. Yeah. You're certainly not seeing 39 and being a significant player in a conference championship, and yet, he has the potential of all those things.
39 years old, and he looks 40-something. So, I mean, there's that too, right?
He goes, well, we lost our best player, so it's hard. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like you, and yet I kind of still do. Speaking of not being liked, we're looking at the NHL last night, and Anaheim wins 5-3, so the series is tied at 1 apiece. Now, we talked earlier when Anaheim was playing Edmonton and saying that a guy like Kessler was kind of having his way with star players for the Oilers. And let's just say exactly who it is. It was Connor McDavid. So if Kessler's allowed to do that kind of shit, which he always does, this is not new. His resume says this is what we do, or what I do. It's just very rare that a player at the same level, usually on the opposite team, is going to say anything about Ryan Kessler. Now, here's what I think is kind of interesting. Ryan Johansson, who he's liked, right?
I think so, for the most part. Yeah,
it's not like, oh my God, he's my favorite player. But I think a lot of people, if you mention that name, they're like, yeah, he's solid. I can get with him. But he had enough of what Kessler had to say. So courtesy of ESPN and the property of the National Hockey League, he's asked the question about Kessler, who's just a little prick. He's just a little douchebag. And normally you say, well, he goes out, he competes for his team. For Ryan Johansson, got a little better than that.
Ryan Kessler is known to be a pretty good defensive center in this league. He's been up for some awards. Has he gone over the line in this series?
I mean, it just blows my mind. I mean, watching, I don't know what's going through his head out there, but like his family and his friends watching him play, I don't know how you cheer for a guy like that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense how he plays the game. So, I'm just trying to go there and play hockey, and it sucks when you gotta pull a stick out of your groin every shift.
Pull the stick out of your groin every shift. And I've always wondered, when you play that style of hockey, so in the day, if we're playing against a guy like that, you're calling him what, a hacker?
Yeah.
Or
you're probably saying something worse than that.
Fucking goof. You're a fucking goof.
Go Western Canada.
Yeah, fucking goof.
Sure.
But guys who play like that, you generally just don't have a respect for. You're going to hear the old, well, if he plays on your team, you like him. But even for the most part, there's a lot of people just don't like that guy. But rarely do you hear a guy say that, because I don't disagree with one thing he said. Not with one thing that Ryan Johansson said.
No, I don't either. I think Kessler's a piece of crap, and even the series before against Connor McDavid, we constantly saw McDavid stick, and that's the kind of garbage that I don't like about today's NHL, because back in the day, and I'm not saying we should go back to the Clark Gillies days, because that was some wrong as well.
Yeah, but I like the Clark Gillies days.
I do too, but
come here, you fucking goof.
There was an accountability factor with that type of hockey, where today you get a lot of Cowboys and
well, it's the stick work. It's those pricks that just get in there and agitate and get under your skin. That's the shitty part about the game. So I didn't mind, a Marty McSorley or Dave Schultz, or depending on how far back you want to go, kind of cleaning that up a little bit.
The good part too about Johansson's comments is through the media, he might be looked at more for the next officials that are reffing Game 3 in Nashville, which is good news, because there'll be more of an attention to detail on what actually happens, because it's almost like an indirect defense of the referee saying, they got this kind of guy, and I'm always pulling a stick out of my groin. It's a mental note sometimes for somebody to be looking for that sort of call.
I get that.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
By the way, in watching the hockey that we've seen so far, Getzlaf, is he in the running for the Conn Smythe?
Yes, 100%. And before yesterday's game, Pekka Rinne was too, but yesterday he looked like garbage in that. Like that was his worst playoff game he's played so far, and he's been the best playoff goaltender in the entire league.
Now, when you played hockey and you played at a high level, you played junior out in Manitoba. Were you a talker to the officials? Like, were you a talk? Because some guys just aren't. Some guys just play the
little
game
bit.
and they really don't say that much. And other guys, they just love the conversation.
I was more of a talker to the opposition, and it wasn't always trash. It was just irritate.
So this is the Dave Bastel that we really want to get to.
See, I don't know if you would have liked me too much because I always had words for goaltenders.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Like a lot. Like sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, but the slow glove hand, eh?"
Well, no,
I mean, you stop
that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, but it's just little things. Like after a while, it gets annoying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But Dave Bastel, in another sense, if it was in a movie, you'd be one of the mean girls.
Yeah, I might be.
Yeah, you're a mean girl.
I might
yeah.
be. Sure.
And so you'd have words for the goalie, but smack talk too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Sarcastic smack talk.
Yes. And not always the F this, F that. It was always like, ooh, that's Well, how much is that stick? Like $10?
Like
is that just little things.
Being called fucking goofy. I mean, you get that
After
so
a
often.
while, it
doesn't do anything.
No,
it's
you
like
gotta-
saying something about a mother or a sister.
Like, remember the conversation we had about when you see that guy wearing that certain hockey helmet and the guy feels bad about it? Well, if the guy's reminded about how bad it is, sometimes it gets to his head.
Well, you're going up and you're seeing a helmet. It's like, so your mom bought your hockey equipment? Like that. That's like, because you fucking goof. Oh, that hurt me bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Did your mom teach you that?
So you got to be creative with some of these things.
I just think that smack talk. I mean, this is the day and age too where I look at the way the kids play. So if I'm going down to and watching a Silver Stick tournament or watching some of the they don't. That's been taken out of the game a little bit at the younger areas of this. Let's make everyone feel positive and good,
Sure.
even at the competitive level.
Yeah.
But I can't handle that stuff. I mean, Russell, did you ever play any competitive sports? Because I think a lot of people really need to know. They want to know.
Oh, yeah. I played hockey for 12 years, like up until I was 17.
Can you
so
skate backwards?
I can.
Okay.
Wow,
I
that's
can.
wow.
See, he surprised me there.
Yeah. So
I thought the answer was going to be no.
now, what level did you play? You can be honest.
House league?
Mostly house league,
Yes.
but like
Of course,
highest level.
of course.
And,
The highest level of house league.
And
yeah.
1 year, I played 1 year in A.
Yeah, people all fucking talk about the highest level of house league a lot. That comes up quite often in conversation.
But played 1 year in A and then dropped back to play with friends because I was like later in high school.
Co-ed?
so-
Co-ed?
No.
Was it?
Was the puck a ring? Was there? Poor Russell. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve this at all.
He's going to hit me with something right away.
Maybe you should play, and I tried to talk about it last time. Maybe you should play kabaddi. This is that ancient Indian game that makes no sense.
No,
here's,
you don't wanna play
but here's
this.
what's so weird about this
You
thing that I
don't wanna
saw on the
do
internet.
this.
It's getting popular. People, United States put a team in here, and it's this weird thing where guys have to hold their breath. It's like dodgeball, except they're trying to touch other guys. And if you run out of breath, you have to go back to your own court, and then they try to attack you. The whole thing sounds like a bad night at the Legion. Just take a look at this. This is real. This is not made up. This is not like the movie Dodgeball. Take a look at this. Watch how this works. Okay.
We are good to go in the final Group
This
A
is
match for
so
India
bad.
and England, and no surprise.
No
the
surprise.
master of the bonus for India.
Look at this. Look at this. Idiots. They're holding hands and they're holding their breath, and now he's running away because he's going to run out of breath. That guy sucks.
We ran a lovely piece earlier today in our preview.
He didn't do anything. He
A
didn't
lovely
do
piece.
anything.
A set piece. This is the shittiest sport of all time. Look at this. Look at these assholes. Yeah, but look at there's a
What do
big
they have
crowd.
to do? What do they have to do?
They got to touch a guy, Dave. Here it comes again. Here's a bunch of guys holding hands, and he's trying to touch them. Don't touch me. He's saying, "Don't touch me. I'm going to run out of breath and run away." And then they got to try to tackle the fucking guy. This is look at get him, get him. Okay, this is creeping me out. Now it's okay. Now it's getting too weird for me. No,
So they have to cross their foot has to cross the line.
It's a shit. I'm telling you right now, people, you got to
Wow,
change
that's
your life.
stupid. That's not played here in Canada, is it?
No.
Oh, good.
No kidding. But when you see
I mean,
this-
because after the show, we should go to any area that might be considering this and shut it down.
you know who'd have a tough time playing this sport? Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, or most sports.
Or just walking upstairs.
Yeah, he wouldn't even participate in the Olympic walk.
Now, as we see, so Bartolo Colon, let's take a picture of, as you can see if you're watching on the dedicated YouTube channel, the amazing Bartolo Colon in all his Colonness. are it's tonight.
And he's in town,
he's in
exactly.
town.
The mighty Braves, the last place Braves are in town.
Now, we talked to Joe Bowden from MLB, Inside Pitch from
Yes.
SiriusXM, and he said, and this is also as a former general manager, that he thinks they might only be 2 years away. Do you agree with that?
I think they're closer to like 3 years away, but there is a pipeline of talent on this Brave side. It really is. It's gonna. I say it's gonna rival what they did in the '90s. I want to see what that pitching staff looks like. But man, I think the Braves are going to be a team to reckon with within the next 3 years.
Well, Dave, they better be. They spent a lot of money on that beautiful brand new stadium, and so the moment they go into the new stadium, you always hope as a team, as an organization, that you reward the fans with great play. Here in Canada, if I look at the Blue Bombers that year that they had the beautiful stadium,
Yep.
and then the team's disappointed for
Yeah, it was terrible.
to a degree, probably still have.
What a joke.
Which is a shame because you want to see.
Well, they made the playoffs last year, but
I'm hoping for a big year for the Bombers because the fans deserve it, the city deserves it, and that beautiful stadium. That's what you want to see because that's where
when there's 9 teams in
Yeah.
the league and you struggle to make the playoffs,
Well,
that's telling you something right
it's
there.
Kabaddi.
Yeah, it sure is.
You are one step away
There's
from
a whole bunch of Bombers that probably play Kabaddi too.
Michael O'Shea's going, who wants to play Kabaddi now? Who can hold their breath? Here's a tweet in from Jake here this morning. By the way, get in the conversation if you're watching us live on our dedicated Raw Mike Richards YouTube channel or on our website at Raw Mike Richards or at David Bastel. Here's Jake saying, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a guy holding his breath trying to tag you. Hashtag Kabaddi. Yeah, isn't that that's just bizarre. Okay, talking about holding your breath. How about catching your breath? Now, this goes back to 2016. This goes back to Bartolo Colon when he's playing for the Mets.
Yes.
So who's broadcasting?
Last year.
So it's Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball.
Who's in the Mets games?
Gee whiz, the Yankees are Yes Network. I'm not sure what the Mets games. Let's
just say
take a roll.
Mets.com. Okay, we'll go with that. And here, unfortunately, is a scary situation for Bartolo Colon because not only is he going to hit an extra base hit.
Oh, this is TBS.
Oh, it is TBS.
Yeah,
okay.
it is the Atlanta Braves network.
Okay. Then, now he's got to run, and that's not easy. Here's the magic of Bartolo Colon.
Completely gone this time. The Mets to just 2 hits. Cologne rips one. It's a base hit. Cologne. Let's watch him run around first. He's going to take his time and jog on in there. Bartolo Colon
Look at that.
with his first base hit of the year. It's a leadoff double, and they're going nuts.
Yes. Hilarious.
That's grounding. It might take a couple
And then-
of those. Young Jr., he's got himself a base hit.
Uh-oh.
Craig ranging over, Jay's ranging over, Cologne coming on around
Look at
third, and
this.
he is going to score, and we're
Look at that.
tied. RBI double for Eric Young Jr.
Wow.
Cologne, the rally starter. And we're knotted at 1 in St. Louis.
That is the magic of Bartolo Colon once again. They are in town to face the Blue Jays. And now I get people, you knew this was going to happen, about the Blue Jays, their record of late, and now what?
5-game winning streak. Honestly, I hate to say this because I didn't think this was going to be possible.
Don't
but
say it. Don't say it, Dave.
They've pressed the restart button on the season. I think they're back in it. And you know what? Considering they're playing the Braves, 2 here at the Dome, 2 on the road, by the end of the week, Mike, they might be 500.
It's crazy.
I didn't think this was going to ever happen.
And also, in comparison to the rest of the American League, so you have, on the weekend, Tampa Bay goes out and pummels Boston. Boston at home, 11-2. You got the Yankees and Baltimore, of course, are playing well. But Boston, of all the talk that we thought the season that they have, I don't know if they're going to get it. And now, look, you're under 40 games. You haven't even played 40 games in this season.
Correct.
But it's going to take something monumental to me to see this trend change. The only thing that monumentally has changed is the Blue Jays, who are 8-2 in their last 10. If I'm looking at those that have really turned it up and changed their season, it's the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, Kevin Pillar has been, and careful while you listen to this, an MVP candidate. If the season ends right now, he's actually in the conversation, which is crazy to believe. He's 8th in batting average. He's top 5 in hits in the American League. His defense has always been very, very good. We know that. But from the offensive side of things, it's always been, here's Kevin Pillar and his 240 batting average. That hasn't happened this year, and this team is severely shorthanded.
Do they miss Russell Martin at all, or has Mail done an admirable job, or better than admirable job?
Well, defensively, he's very good. He's very good. Offensively, he's worse than Josh Tolley, and that's saying something because it's hard to be worse than Josh Tolley batting-wise. It just, honestly, Josh Tolley was complete crap last year. This guy's worse than Josh Tolley.
Do you think Josh Tolley's watching this somewhere going, fucking dicks, I don't know how hard it is. They're throwing the ball at me, and I gotta,
he might.
I don't know. I got fastball.
I mean, the only reason
You weren't such a good DJ, and back in the 80s, you weren't the best, There were better guys than you.
90s. So it's one of those things where you sit there and you go, okay, well, they have a guy behind the plate that's able to catch a pretty good staff. But could you imagine this roster moving forward when they add Donaldson and Tulowitzki within the next week? Hopefully after that, Jay Happ. We saw Aaron Sanchez yesterday, and he looked okay. And you hope that today's okay because it's always that day after is a concern. Russell Martin, you'd love to have him back. Kendrys Morales came back quicker than a lot of people thought. So, I mean, at one point last week, Mike, there was $80 million on the disabled list, and that's the payroll of a couple of teams in Major League Baseball.
If I'm looking at just the American League, well, in the Central, Minnesota is in first place with a record of 19-15, and basically everyone else is almost 500.
One of the best stories in baseball, the Minnesota Twins, and Paul Molitor and what he's doing with that team.
But if I'm looking
that won't last.
No,
that won't last.
But if I'm looking at what the Blue Jays have done in comparison, so you've got Houston who are playing like the way Houston's supposed to.
Yeah.
And Texas, in some ways, has mirrored what the Blue Jays have done. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're now in second place. Now,
They've got themselves back into the wild card contention, right?
Because the Angels are not in that conversation.
No,
neither Seattle and Oakland.
We saw what the Mariners bring this weekend,
Nothing.
even with
and hurt.
Yeah, and Robinson Cano's out, which I mean, even when he's in the lineup, it's not that much of a difference because it isn't a very good team. And the Oakland A's are the Oakland A's because they're always going to be the Oakland A's.
Robinson Cano, don't you know? I miss that stuff.
It was very good.
Well, the Yankee stuff, I miss that. Speaking of things, Yankee. Derek Jeter, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago, but let's first take a look at, what do we do first? His monumental moment or his moment on this show when it came to gift bags? I'm going gift bags first.
Yeah.
Let's go gift bags first. I mean, when you think of Derek Jeter, do you think of one of the most incredible Yankees of all time?
No.
Or do you think gift baskets? What? Jess gonna come? Oh, she's gonna come in. Yeah, Jess, you got to come in and help us with this. So give her the microphone. Maybe she should stand by. Can she stand by Dave to try to get in that shot, or stand by me? Which is the easier place for Jess?
Let's put you on the spot,
okay,
Jess.
So we're going to put you on the spot. This is the lovely Jess who's been helping.
Okay, so let me set this up.
She's a very hard worker. And the camera's this way too. Just so look at that.
So Derek Jeter in his day had a habit of occasionally carousing with different women. And at the end of the night, spending the night with Derek Jeter, he would give them a gift basket.
You get a little present on the way out.
Yeah, you get a little present on the way out, and
nice.
I'll don't call me, I'll call you. What would you expect if you were with Derek Jeter? What would you expect to be in that gift bag?
But first of all, is that insulting? So you spend the night. He's a professional athlete, so he's famous.
I'm very easily insulted.
Yeah, okay. So you get up and you're like, thanks, Derek, you're amazing, and he goes, no problem. Here's your gift bag.
Oh my God! Yeah, I don't even know.
So what would you say? What would you do if a guy? Let's just say a guy tried that with you. If they're watching right now.
I mean, if they had some Prada sunglasses, I'd be happy with that.
Ooh, see,
I would be quite.
that's
I'm
good.
a sucker for the Pradas.
Okay.
That just costs
I
more
mean,
money, way more money. Yeah, Russell was saying chocolates.
Yeah.
And a bottle of.
It's just assuming that I would assume that then maybe I'm not going to get a call back, and it's kind of like an ending. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's
See,
a good
this
point.
This is what I was saying.
And and Jeter probably did this to a lot of people, right? Like you're
and famous ones too.
It's almost like
you're good on Friday, but we're not calling you on Saturday.
Yeah, you're a Wednesday girl for me. So excuse me, excuse me. I'm at least Friday.
But I mean, a gift bag's better than nothing.
Oh, so you see
I'm
where
changing my mind now.
See where this started? Started like this is so insulting. How about those Prada sunglasses?
Yeah,
it's not that exciting. It's not that insulting anymore.
Yeah, didn't that change? Now, going from that moment to actually Yankee Stadium, so this will be courtesy of Major League Baseball and Yes Network. So now you go from that discussion to yesterday, where they honor him. Slightly different feel to the conversation.
Time flies, memories fade, but family is forever.
The newest number to be retired by the Yankees is number 2.
It's a special day. I mean, that's even now. I don't. What do you say? I mean, number was retired by the Yankees. I mean, it's hard to believe.
Thank you to George Steinbrenner and the Steinbrenner family for giving me the opportunity to play my entire career for the only team I ever wanted to play for. And the fans, I want to thank you guys for embracing me since day one.
That, of course, Derek Jeter from yesterday. That was the moment that, of course, most people see in movies. You know, this is the greatest day of my life, all that kind of stuff.
I'm sure this will become some sort of movie or documentary in the next little bit.
Oh, I'd like to see.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'd like to see the Derek Jeter movie.
I don't know if
he also had Minka Kelly too. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Oh.
I bet you.
Mariah
do.
Carey when she was thin.
Oh yeah, that better be really early.
Yeah,
and pre-crazy too.
I can't confirm that part.
Okay. Didn't he have Adriana
Lima?
Lima?
Yep.
Okay, that
That
should be a presentation right there, getting a Victoria's Secret Hispanic model.
There is a picture that came out a couple years ago of what Derek Jeter's positional would look like on a baseball diamond. So they had every girl playing a position of which he dated. I'm going to look it up really quick.
I'm going to see if we can find that.
And
because that's Hall of Fame too. And better than Tiger Woods. So Tiger, don't be sitting there going, "Oh, you're not so good." No, he is that good. Madonna too, I think.
Really?
I think Madonna was in there somewhere.
I didn't know that.
Wow. Let's just say you can throw Madonna in a lot of those. If everyone had that baseball field of players, I think Madonna's.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Left fielder, Mariah Carey.
See, so that's a no from me. Just if we're playing the game, hold on. Let me find the shit music. We need. Hold on. Let me just go to, because I think this deserves at least shit music. Here we go. And so Mariah Carey for me.
Yep.
Is a no.
Okay. Center fielder Jessica Alba.
Oh my God.
Yep. I think that would be a yes for you. I'm predicting yes.
I can't even talk. I'm so excited about that pick.
Right fielder Jessica Biel.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even fair.
At first base, Jordana Brewster.
Oh, another one of my This is making me sick now. Now I'm sad.
At second base, Adriana Lima.
Oh, I hate him now.
Starting shortstop, Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Now you're gonna have to help me with this pronunciation. It's Vanessa Milano, or am I saying that right?
Oh, you know. Hot anyway. Vanessa Manillo, I think.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Vanessa Manillo. How did I know that?
Starting pitcher was Hannah Davis.
Okay, Hannah Davis. Do I not know that one?
Oh, you know that one.
I know Hannah Davis.
You should Google search Hannah Davis.
Okay, you guys do that too then. Hannah Davis.
Minka Kelly.
Unbelievable.
Catcher, and the DH, Tara Banks.
Tara Banks. See, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, Tara Banks.
I don't know if she's bragging about that
That's
necessarily.
the Derek Jeter's dating diamond.
The first 3 or 4. I mean,
if you want to look it up.
Minus Mariah Carey, which I think a lot of people
Now,
do.
if you put that baseball team on the actual field, they're actually better than the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah. That's the funny part.
I was going to say, even Kansas City's going, wow. So who was playing first base again? Joey Votto's going, wait a second, we're better than some of them. That Vanessa Manillo were better than. Okay, you got that one, Joey. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
My God.
Derek Jeter.
So he gets claps
Hall of Fame?
for a lot of things.
There we go.
By the way, yesterday being Mother's Day, which again, we don't need to hear how great a son you are and how wonderful your mother is. It's about 50-50. Dave said it's less than that. It's like 75 probably full of shit, 25 real. But the one thing that we can all agree on, and we talked about it, is where you might want to go And depending on your money situation, a lot of times it's KFC. A lot of times it's KFC. Colonel Sanders gets the call a lot, except right before he probably died when they made him do his own commercials. And, there he is in the white suit. And we wanted to get to it on Friday, but we didn't have the ability to do it. But if you've not heard the magic nor the sarcasm from the commercial producer who is directing the Colonel, yeah, I'm sure that's a realistic.
This is so mean.
That I'm sure he achieved Colonel somewhere. Yeah. Here is a wonderful moment from Colonel Sanders, one of my favorite.
I better do that again, huh? Yes. All right. Cut. You don't want me to sing, do you, for Christ's sake?
Uh-oh.
We're rolling. This is the good one.
The good one.
Take 5.
Oh.
Most folks, once again. Most folks.
Wait, wasn't that the good one?
All right, that's good.
That's
Very
good.
nice.
Nice.
That's why folks call it the finger. That's why folks call it finger.
Oh.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's why folks call it finger licking good. That's why folks call it. That's why folks call it finger licking good. That's why folks call it finger licking good. Right, I'm not getting anywhere with this damn thing. Okay, fine.
That sets off Mother's Day. That's the way you want to go.
You got to admit it. He is better than some of the people we've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
And
almost like every program director I've had.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the program director of a radio station. But why are you talking like that? It's not 1970. By the way, speaking of 70s, for a lot of you,
Arthur Carlson. Eh?
Yeah, music has a lot to do with it, and I see that Russell Graham has brought in some of the. Can we show some of the albums that you played on the weekend for your mom? Which I think is really
good.
nice. Yeah, let's take a look.
He's
The first,
smiling ear to ear like a butcher's dog.
yeah,
I love it.
The soundtrack. The soundtrack from Against All Odds, which is...
You're surprising me here, Russell.
Well, we know the Phil Collins song. I don't know any of the other ones.
No.
But, Russell, how about the front of that album, eh? Boing! Sheila Ward. There's another... there's one who didn't make, unfortunately, Derek Jeter's team, which is surprising.
Maybe she's a reserve player. I don't know.
Now, a little old school. Jack Jones, I see you have up there. Jack Jones is nice. That was Shirley Jones's husband, I believe. Yeah, and he actually sang the theme from The Love Boat, which that's one of the reasons he played it for his mom, which isn't really solid thinking there. I got to say, there's something wrong with that. And finally, this is tremendous. Sidney Devine. Now, I don't know who this loser is. It's got to be. It's not North American. It can't be. The guy's name is Sidney Devine. The title of the album, Divine Time. You got to know.
He used that a lot.
That is a go-to line right there.
Any day that ended in Y, he used it.
Yeah. Don't you think he'd be in some shit bar in some bar skags going, so that will be $45.25, really? I could pay you somewhere else. What do you mean? How's about a little divine time? At the market. It just reeks of not being very good. You're watching on the dedicated YouTube channel, Raw Mike Richards or rawmikeRichards.com. Hopefully you will download us on the podcast on iTunes as we get it to you later today. Brought to you by Henry's Cameras. It is Canada's camera store.
It is.
Look for the orange and away you go.
The Grand Orange.
That's Rod, who helps us out. That's exactly how he says it.
That's actually how he says it, too.
Our friends at Avi. Oh, here's Tor Habs fan. Let's hear some stories about that shit program director who's killing TSN 1050. That's the station here in Toronto who has worked very hard to get 0 ratings on every single show they have. It's very hard to do. I think you have to be very focused and very calculated to go, guys, we're going to go out there, and God damn it, we're getting 0s in every shift. Therefore, here's the new morning show. That reeks of a 0 right there. Let's cancel a couple of the shows. We'll have a horrible midday show that couldn't be tolerated by that person's mom. By the way, happy Mother's Day. And we'll leave it all up to the only shift they have in the afternoon. Good luck with that, fellas. By the way, we're giving you no support and no money. So congratulations to them.
Where'd you get that tape from?
I don't know.
You find everything.
It's a bit of a pep talk, I think. Well, by the way, we have a new Cabaldi team that we're going to introduce, and that's really going to bring the fellas together, we think.
Potluck.
What else am I going to talk about today? All of a sudden, because I had so much. Oh, by the way, we got tremendous response to our comics when they came in.
Yes.
And the crazy story of Darren Frost being
that was funny. And if you missed it, check it out on the site.
ridiculed and mocked. Can we get that up? We can too, because it actually went on something called Reddit. For those of you who subscribe to that service. And it's our good friend Darren Frost coming in on Friday and talking about growing up in Brantford.
Yes.
And being a Dickie D guy, which is obviously
Yeah.
a very poor choice of job.
Yeah.
But as you know from Darren's life, it hasn't been a happy life.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't been a happy
That might have been his best job he's ever had.
Well, unfortunately, he peaked at 12. As he tells you in this clip, but actually Wayne Gretzky mocking a guy who has fallen off a Dickie D bicycle, which is what an excellent story. What? So now, people talk about comedians having pain. There's
Oh,
some
yeah.
pain.
Sure.
You have a lot of this pain.
I have a lot of pain. Look
Yeah,
at me.
yeah.
Look at me. I'm a grown man who looks like Bobby from King of the Hill. I've got pain. I've got 46 years of pain. All ready to
You're
pop.
46?
46. I know I
Yeah.
look 65. Trust me. I let go of myself at age 12. It's the Quebec diet of cheese and gravy.
So the first difficulties you have as a person, does this start in elementary school? Like,
Oh, well, yeah, of course, yeah. When I was very young, I knew my life was going to be different because my parents got me the game Light Bright. Remember Light Bright, the game with pegs?
Yes.
But for some reason, I was allergic to Light Bright. The pegs had a chemical on them that gave a rash all over my body. Okay, no, figure that shit
That's
out.
weird.
That is very weird.
It's like Chuck in if you watch Better Call Saul.
Yes.
They're afraid of
Yes.
the electricity.
Yes.
And you actually have that.
Yes. So my parents, instead of taking the toy away from me, they just said to me, make sure you wear your gloves. So I'd have like these giant oven mitts on trying to build a clown with little pegs, and they kept falling off. And my mom would walk by hammered going, oh, that's a nice square. It's a clown, Mommy. It's a clown. Just go get Mommy some more gin. And so it started really early.
A lot of friends in school, or is this?
Yeah, I had
another-
some friends,
yes,
sure.
yeah,
And then probably my most famous childhood story is chasing Wayne Gretzky on an ice cream bike.
Oh.
I was a Dickie
Okay,
D ice
go
cream
ahead.
bike guy,
Yes,
the
yes.
Dickie D ice cream boys,
Yeah.
the guys with the bells and the kids and the drugs.
Speaking
what I'm
of
talking about,
pedophiles, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, grooming. Hello, I was groomed. Ice cream boy, here, kid, candy. And so I lived in Brantford at the time, and Wayne was home from Edmonton training for the summer. Didn't realize it. I was on the street. He pops his head out both ways, looks, no one's there, goes for a run. I'm like, oh my God, it's Wayne Gretzky. So I chased Wayne Gretzky. I'm like, I just started going, and the bells are ringing, kids are running out, screw the kids, they're hooked on the junk, they'll find another, monkey on their back. And so Wayne saw me coming. He goes up a curb and through a park. And I tried to follow him, but I don't know if you ever analyzed the Dickie D ice cream bike, but they're very top heavy.
Yes.
So I tried to bunny hop the curb, but that's not what happened. What happened? I smashed into the curb, the back shot up, I rocketed off the bike, and Wayne Gretzky fucking laughed at me.
Oh,
He laughed at me.
Yeah,
So when he
yeah.
says he was there for every kid, he wasn't there for every kid.
There's ridicule in
Yeah.
his DNA.
Yeah.
is what you're
Someone
saying.
as nice as Wayne Gretzky's making fun of you, your life's going to be different.
Darren Frost, of course, joining us on Friday. We will look forward to some magical people coming in this week.
Magical people.
Yeah, there's some magical people,
Ooh.
including, if you're a big fan of in the gaming world, including Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
So Elias, and I don't want to blow the last name. I don't know, it's a hard name to say.
Okay.
But he's the star of this stuff, including when you got to put all, those electronic, what do you call those things? You're into that world, where they actually follow the movement when you're doing it digitally.
Okay.
Like even when you do your golf swing,
Sure.
they put that stuff on you.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's almost like little electrical.
Yeah, so they can follow the movements.
Exactly.
And so he's got a lot of that stuff.
That's why video games these days, Mike, look like you're watching an actual hockey
Well,
game.
we've seen that with being tricked by Major League Baseball, and even soccer guys doing that kind of stuff. But
Correct.
it is another world. And when you think about Assassin's Creed, then that was a movie this past year. They made it into a movie. Now, do you go to movies that are based off of video games? So what was the first one? Is it Lara Croft? Do you think that was the first one that became an actual, a big time motion picture?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because they've kind of sexed her up big time, eh? like with the outfit and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and made it all.
Yeah, see, Angelina Jolie, I noticed, was not on the Derek Jeter All-Star team.
No. Or at least
But
never made the final 9,
no,
right?
But I can't believe that. Although his final 9. So
I was
aside from
gonna
Mariah
say.
Carey, I think. Like
But it was a younger, thinner Mariah Carey.
I'm still saying no on that.
Okay.
No, here's what I'm saying yes to. Gambling. And let's look at tonight.
Hey.
So let's get, well, it's not exactly gambling music, but let's try. I've got to get some more songs here. I know what you're saying. Let's try this. And it's not, here we go. Let's try it right here. And let's go to some of the numbers for tonight.
Okay. You want to start off NBA-wise, Mike?
Let's start off NBA.
Because it is a Game 7, and people are kind of like, okay, this is it. This number has kind of fluctuated. We've seen 4s on the board for the Celtics. We've seen 4.5s. Well, that number right now is a 5. Boston 5-point favorites. The total is 210.5. That number has actually gone up from 209 earlier on the weekend because they did have the extra day off.
That's a tough. You know what? I wouldn't bet it. I'm not touching that.
I
game.
mean, that's a lot of points, and it's a Game 7, and you almost think that is this a basket win for either team? I'm hedging Celtics. Like if I'm going money line, I'm going Celtics, but
so
I don't
you
know
could-
if I want to give away points.
You could take that by any other margin. So here in Canada, if you play pro line, you call it a pro line tie.
Correct.
But even still, it's a little risky in a Game 7. It's look. I'd watch the game if we played watch it or bet it. I'm going to watch it. I don't think I'm going to bet it.
Like, do you see a scenario where either one of these teams blow out the opposition in a Game
I don't
7?
think so, and yet a Game 7 tends to be that weird animal that you can't get a hold of. I tend to not want to bet on a Game 7, so I would stay away from even the total. Even the total, if it gets tight, maybe it doesn't hit 210. I don't know. I'm staying away from it. I'll tell you the game that I'd be looking at if I'm betting tonight. Now, what sport do you have next?
I got hockey.
Okay, go to hockey.
Yeah.
Go to hockey first.
So basically, it's Pittsburgh slight favorites over the Ottawa Senators right now, which isn't a major surprise because Pittsburgh is home and so forth. The total goals is 5, which I'm kind of curious about. If you're looking money line, Ottawa's paying a big fat $2.90.
Jesus.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh is a 1.45. So Vegas is expecting an easy Pittsburgh win. Be careful with the word
Yeah.
easy, but I'm just basing this on the numbers.
If you're going money wise, then you're taking Ottawa.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to make money. To me, the game. Poor Bartolo Colon. But Bolzinger, do we have a lot of faith in him?
No,
That's the only thing.
Well, if the Atlanta Braves are going to win one of these games, this is the game they're going to win, considering what. But the Jays are red hot. They're played so well in May. It's 9-4, 5-game winning streak. Looking at the numbers right now, the Jays are paying a 170 to win on the money line, and Bart Colon is a 225 right now.
You might be interested in the total. It's a 186, so it's not a huge number, and the total is 9.
9 runs combined.
I might be taking an over in this game.
I would
Yeah.
be big time over in this game just because of, you're looking at two guys with not very good ERAs. Cologne has a 7.22 ERA. Bolsinger is his second start. He's not used to this kind of position. He's at an even 3.18, but you have to think that he's the kind of guy that could easily give up 4 or 5 runs by himself. The opposition could do the same. The Atlanta bullpen, not very good. I'd be surprised if this doesn't hit double-digit combined today.
To me, playing the totals in baseball is a lot easier than trying to do the pitching matchup because on paper, if I'm taking a look at, let's say, the Cleveland game, so you got the Indians at home with Carrasco on the mound.
Yes.
Normally a pretty good combination.
Very good combination.
Tampa Bay just won huge over Boston. So does that mean they kind of blew it all in one game, winning 11-2, and Chris Archer's on the mound? Archer generally
a good pitcher.
Good pitcher. It's just a weird number. You get a 164 for the money line for the Indians, but do you really want to lay money to win a 164? Because if you start taking a look at, the run line, winning by 2 is a nice number for Carrasco on the mound at 2-4. I just know with Archer out there, I can't tell with the pitching matchup these days, because if you're trying to make a living betting on baseball, then you're
good luck to you.
You either you're Kreskin or I don't know, because I find it to be almost the hardest sport right now to bet on.
I was going to say regular season baseball is only the equivalent of NHL regular season as well, because I look at that sometimes,
that's
Mike,
really
and
hard.
I go, man, okay, middle of the week, San Jose, Los Angeles, flip a coin 10 times and you're going to get 5 on each side. That's how lucky you have to be sometimes, and anybody can win at any time. That's why I'm not a big baseball like we're getting into the months where my betting regimen reduces quite a bit because basketball's ending, hockey's ending, and it's only baseball for the most part here in North America.
Yeah, it becomes the most difficult time to
And then
actually make wagers unless, I know the Preakness is coming up. Luch keeps telling us, keeps tweeting in, are you going to have me in to talk about the Preakness? If you want, but it's got to win. And none of this fake, I took this, but at the last minute I changed it. But that doesn't help us.
And you can't
doesn't help us.
And you can't pick like 10 horses. I'm sorry. Honestly. So
and another lingo we don't understand. Oh, we took the upside down with the number 1 on top of the 5, and we triacted the. No, just tell me who's going to win.
Out of town scoreboard, by the way, Mike. Double IHF World Championships. Canada has taken a 1-0 lead over. Wait for it. Norway.
Yeah, well, you lost to Switzerland. Well, and here's the
what
thing.
a joke that was.
Like that. I mean, in North America, we like the World Hockey Championships, but only when we win. When we don't win, people are like, our best aren't over there.
Yeah, Braden Shen picked up the goal.
It's the biggest, sort of fake enthusiasm that Canada has as a country when it comes to World Hockey Championships. Because if we don't feel that the greatest players are over there, if we win it, we're amazing. If we don't, we use an excuse. And I'll be honest, watching Switzerland over the last, decade? You know that because of all the expats that go over there, their programs have gotten better and better. They do certainly much better in the World Juniors. But when you look at it on the major stage when it comes to Olympics and World Hockey Championships, still in Europe, the World Hockey Championship means something.
It does.
It's.
It'd be fun to go to that too.
Yeah, of course, it'd be fun.
It'd be great.
Let me know when it's in Prague. Let me know when it's in Prague.
Also, I know
I'll show Derek Jeter some stuff.
I know you're curious.
Taking nothing but goddamn gift bags over there. It's Czech Republic, so who knows what's popular? Could be like jelly beans or aerosol cans. I don't know, but I'm taking it.
Denmark and Italy scoreless at 0 in the first.
What a shit game that would be.
Oh, you want to talk about that kind of game?
No, fun, because we like the Italians, and if the Danish bring the girls, you're good, but otherwise.
France and Slovenia a little bit later on today.
Well, that's a big matchup there, Dave. France and Slovenia. See, this is what I'm saying. North America. Now, again, if you're there having the party, that's good, but if you're not there,
it's fantastic.
It's like hearing about this great party where all these supermodels and flight attendants showed up. But if you're not there, I don't want to hear your shits. I don't hear that. I don't want to hear that story. How everyone made out, even like Russell was there with no shirt on. And he was doing like the moonwalk and stuff.
Yeah, but he has no shirt on right now too.
That is true. It's weird. Just after Mother's Day too, we had that Mother's Day talk, and all of a sudden shirtless. If you picked up on that conversation where Dave had mentioned in a previous life, in a younger day, that he was a DJ. So this is what, at clubs?
This is at many different clubs, yes.
Clubs? Also, would you do...
Great money, too, by the way.
But you must have done weddings and stuff.
Yes, all the time.
Because that's good. That's easy cake.
It's easy cake. The thing that was awesome about that was when you're working the clubs, you're making $20 an hour. Now, $20 an hour in the 90s is...
You're doing all right.
Pretty fantastic.
Minimum wage is $4 or something, probably.
Bingo. And you're in a club. You're playing music. Yeah. You're doing nothing but socializing. Weddings were even better because you would lump sum it for the night. And you know how weddings are. The DJ doesn't start playing until 10 o'clock at night, and he's finished 3 hours later.
Oh, yeah.
$350.
And then what, Dave? And then what?
And then what?
Good stuff.
And then you pack up and leave.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Irene, turn it off. Don't you ruin all the good stories.
And you know what? The best part about the weddings, and you know this, there's always somebody there that is upset about the wedding happening and why it's not them. And
there's always, I mean, the weddings, there's always people crying.
Yeah.
And not. I don't mean when they're coming down or they're happy for people.
No.
Someone's upset or
somebody's lonely. Yeah.
And someone danced with someone.
Bingo.
You know how I feel about Jessica. Well, shut up. maybe those are just weddings I go to. I don't know. I'm never upset at weddings, and I will clean you out if it's an open bar. As an Irish person, I'll tell you right now. That's.
Have you been to a wedding that charges?
I've
heard of it, but I haven't been to one.
It's weird when that the only one that I can say it did. I went with one of my best friends, Claude Millette. So French Canadian. We go out to Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
And they have like these almost like these community weddings. And so this is I'm not going to tell you about how we each got set up. You know, he went out there to see this gorgeous brunette girl named Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but try to
Yeah, I was gonna
distance
say.
yourself from that.
I will.
This gorgeous, like it looked like Sofia Vergara, but French.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
And then I was to get the sister.
Okay.
So I'm waiting.
Which probably
to.
still isn't bad, right? Oh, is this a good?
It was
start?
like Jurassic Park. I'm just saying
Oh,
it was.
no.
I saw it and went, oh, for Christ! Oh my God!
No.
So we go to this wedding in the middle of nowhere, Saint Norbert. So Saint Norbert, for us who speak English, we go to Saint Norbert. We go to this wedding. Everyone's dancing, and I'm just trying to get away from Barney.
Yeah.
This is just a disaster. And of course, you know, at the wedding, I see someone from across the way. Beautiful girl. But it was a cash bar because you're not family. You're just it's like the town's putting it on.
Okay.
Kind of. So you go up and you pay. You know what? So it's like a $2.50.
Okay.
Or for a drink. This is back in the
Yeah.
whenever it was. Well, it's because it'd be in the 80s sometimes. So you're just like at the local Legion or whatever. But I do remember her name. Her name was Doris Bastarache.
Wow.
I know.
That last name.
So I said to Claude's cousin, I said, hey, I met this beautiful girl. She goes, of course you did. Yeah. Here's the weird thing. She had a really strange name. So if I have to find her, you could get her. He goes, bien sûr, oui. I know everybody in the province. So I said, her name is Doris. I know, right? Weird. Of course it's Bastarache. She goes, oh, that's like saying Smith or Jones, where you're from.
Really?
No, what, are you kidding me? Doris Bastarache? I mean, there's no man. I mean, every guy, little French Canadian mustache. But the reason that I bring up
That's a great look, eh?
well, and they were not happy with me dancing. Well, the chubbier, less attractive girl is now crying in the car. She's crying in the car. People come back and go, did you see Nicole's sister? No. Is she crying in the car? I go, that's a shame. Here's a couple Twinkies. I'll see her in a couple of hours. I know, it's not very nice. I'm just saying, he got the pretty one. How come I get stuck? So, this fast forward to a moment when I'm, first year university or whatever, hanging out with film students. We break into the Diamond Club in Toronto. Because that's what they did. They always had to sneak in. That was their thing. And boy, we were dressed weird. It was the 80s. It was a dance club. And I am from Stouffville, so I'd never really seen anything like that. Oh, here's one from Adam. He gambles now. Milwaukee Brewers at a 205 is the moneyline play of the night for me. Since when does he gamble?
I was going to say, I've never heard him give us gambling tips before.
Does his mom know this is going on?
I don't know.
Hold on, before I get to that.
He knows it's Milwaukee, right?
205 is the moneyline play of the night for me.
They're playing against the Padres in San Diego.
Who's on the mound? Who is even? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. He ruined the story. I shouldn't have never have gone to that story. So I go, and of course, in that day, that's where the girls all sort of were. It was like Lisa Del Bello, or they called her Del Bello in the time. So you had the black hair that went up.
Okay.
They kind of did like a pale makeup, and they had the long black mascara and stuff like that, and they all kind of looked the same. So this is the day where guys used to go up and feel confident, where guys would dance by yourself, right? They get up and guys would just dance and to music like this. Right, so it's that weird. This is New Order.
Yeah.
Blue Monday. So I get up there and I start doing my
robot.
Hopefully it wasn't the robot, but so it's all dark. All these people are grinding. You're out there. You're kind of getting into it. You feel like you're in one of those movies with Nicolas Cage and a pretty girl, and this tall girl.
This is a very underrated song, by the way.
And the long dark hair and the makeup, but dancing kind of all cool. I'm like, yeah, I can get into that. So I start doing, my
you
stuff.
go new wave on them?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's going to kick in now.
Yeah. Okay. So as I'm bopping around, feeling pretty good about myself, I had a little white rope around my jeans because I thought that was a good look.
Did you fold the belt under too?
It's all. Yeah. I know it's all bad.
Go Jason Priestley on us.
I say to this tall girl, I said, "You're a pretty good dancer."
Oh, no.
And the tall girl says to me, "You're a pretty good dancer too."
No.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh! Oh! You're a pretty good dancer too. Oh.
Frank?
Yeah. So I faked an injury. Like, oh, my leg.
Can I help you with that groin?
And everyone saw it. But that was the days where people danced to this.
Oh.
It's just, I don't know. And probably revenge from the fat girl in New Brunswick who's going, now you know what it feel like. No, this is different. I was tricked. What am I, Danny Bonaducci all of a sudden? That was just kind of weird for me.
That's really weird, actually.
That was not good for me. So we're, by the way, we're
the
not
Diamond Club.
We're not the Diamond Club. Do people know that?
I love that name.
It became what'd that become in Toronto? Just drew a blank. Someone's going to know. They're probably going to tweet in.
Okay.
But it became oh God, I can just see it. Back in the days where we did that kind of stuff. By the way, we might talk to Chuck Swirsky tomorrow, voice of the
very good
Chicago Bulls.
Onions.
We've got a bunch of guys coming in actually this week, including one of the stars of Designated Survivor. Do you watch that show? I love that show.
I've watched it. I haven't really caught up on this season, but I kind of understand the premise because I see too many commercials on it, which is kind of ruining it for me while I try to backtrack and get in there. So.
Like, it's so hard to compete in this world against all the HBO shows.
Correct.
You know, you've got was it AMC is where like Better Call Saul and all those kinds of shows. But he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy in Designated Survivor, and he also played one of the Russian guys in Goon. So we'll have him in studio this week. We'll get a bunch of others.
Diamond Club, was that on Sherburne?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on it.
Why am I drawing a blank on a studio? I'm going to go to Twitter. Someone must have sent it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just looking at
the
some
hell
of the
was
pictures.
It?
Just trying to figure out what it is. Do you think it exists today? Is it something else today? Is that what you're saying?
It's changed a bunch of names too.
Well, most clubs do. They get out of debt and money and stuff like that, and owners.
Hopefully with different clientele. What? Exactly.
Just become best friends. Yep. You want to go do karate in the garage? Yep. It's time.
Once again, thanks to Henry's Cameras, Canada's camera store, for helping us once again today. If you are watching live, we appreciate that. Subscribe to the Raw Mike Richards YouTube channel. Best way to do it, or go to rawmikeRichards.com and watch us. Be sure to subscribe to the website. And also get ready for the podcast, which generally happens about a half hour after the show. Have yourself a great day. Don't forget to watch Bartolo Colon. Just pray at some point he's got to run. I don't know how much that's going to happen. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.